Hey guys, Chris the Valley Guy here. It's been a little while. It's actually been months. I don't have a whole lot of time to make this video, but hopefully it doesn't take too long. I'm in a truck, of course. Got my 13-speed transmission that I wanted. You know, you can't really see the stick down there, but it's there. And I've been trucking. And honestly, I've been loving trucking. It's been great learning experience. I started off working originally I was gonna go work for a company called US Express, and the person that they put me in a hotel room with for the orientation ended up meeting is a guy I consider a great friend now, and I'm very glad to have met the guy. We still talk all the time, and what ended up happening is that he went the lease purchase route, and I agreed to drive his truck because I didn't want to be a company driver directly, because I hate driving for spineless mega carriers that could give too less of a care of me personally, just to pay me by cents by the mile. And I was going to get paid very little to go work for the company, and you know, I was like, let me take a risk. I'm young, let me take a risk now. Ended up not being as profitable as it needed to be. I wasn't making enough money to make ends meet, so respectfully, I left and I found another job, and that's where I'm at right now. And before that, before I started working for my friend Charles, I went through training with US Express. They paid for it, learned the ropes. I had to drive an automatic. Those things are awful. I hate everyone that drives automatics is like, oh, they're not that bad, but they're bad. Like, all things considered, like, yeah, they drive just fine, but like, when I'm in stop and go traffic, that's when I want a manual the most, because especially with how they make the cab suspension, because the cab pivots in the front, has airbags in the back, so the whole thing bounces, and it just rocks side to side so much going through traffic, and they program out manual shifting, and it just doesn't drive right. So manual is something I wanted, and that's what I got with this company. I get paid a percentage of the load instead of per mile, which is great, because when I got multi-stop loads, it makes things a lot simpler, and I get paid more for the load. I did get into a little bit of a conundrum lately, and I'll get to that, but yeah. Honestly, I've thought about coming off of over the road, because over the road is something I knew was gonna suck. Now, am I good at it now? I get the job done. They're saying that. I haven't totally wrecked a truck yet. That's also good. Foreshadowing, but driving has honestly been great. I don't mind the drives. You can probably see I got my subwoofers up there, up in the top bunk. It's great to have some bass while driving around all day. I have to turn it off sometimes, because I'm gonna ruin my hearing if I listen to music all day. So I started listening to stuff recently, and that's new for me. I don't really listen to audio type stuff that much besides music, because I'm such a big music person. But yeah, I can't bring my ballast songs with me because I'm in Illinois right now, and I go pretty much most of the 48 continental states, but this company I'm with doesn't like to run California. We don't register for it either. We don't run New York, and anything more north and east of Pennsylvania and Maryland, pretty much anything more north or east of that, we don't run. We'll dabble in New Jersey every now and then, but that's about it. Oh my goodness, I can't flip today. But yeah, a lot of states do not like butterfly knives, ballast songs, whatever you want to call them. So I just bring trainers with me. And my boss also told me, don't bring anything in that truck you cannot afford to lose, because electrical fires happen, really bad wrecks happen. Don't bring anything like a family heirloom. So definitely not bringing any of my live blades, because those the ones that I got a while ago are sentimental to me, and the only one that I got most recently was my 42, and I waited so long to get that, and for the deal I got it, and for the condition that it's in, I'd hate to lose it, for one, but two, get arrested for just possessing a knife, which is a crazy thing to think, but it can happen. Everything behind the curtain, right here, everything behind this curtain is supposedly like residential quarters, and they're not supposed to go back there, but I mean, I got drug searched when coming out of McAllen, Texas, not that long ago. I was going up on, what is it, 35 out of McAllen, and they got all the inspection stations down there, and I had broken down like 2 weeks prior, and not 2 weeks, no, actually like less than 7 days prior, I had gotten back on the road, but a week before that, so yeah, about 2 weeks, I blew a drive shaft, blew a U-joint, so I had a load on me, so the other open market driver at this company, so open market means over the road, which means we go random place to random place, wherever the money's at. So the other driver in the company was close enough by to where it was worth it for him to come swap trailers with me, but of course his plate got stolen by presumably a homeless person. I don't know why that keeps happening in this company, but it keeps happening. So the whole bracket, the whole shebang. So I end up with his trailer, and I get temporary registration. He has the plate number written on the back. We'll come to find out, the Border Patrol don't understand what that means, because it was proper legal documentation. They're like, no, it doesn't match the trailer. It literally, the VIN number on the paper reads to the trailer, and it says Montana Temporary Trailer Registration. I mean, I don't even think you need to have a piece of paper written on the back saying what it's for. I mean, it's just, it's a document you have in the truck that says, yeah, that trailer's registered. Just the plate is missing and being over the road. It's not like we can just go to the DMV on Tuesday and go get the thing swapped. It's a silly ordeal. But yeah, that's why I initially got pulled over. And then they were like, oh, can we search your truck? And I was like, do you need my consent to do that? I thought you didn't need that for commercial vehicles. And they were like, oh, in the state of Texas, you need consent to search search the sleeper in the vehicle, or search the vehicle at all for whatever reason. I was like, oh, well, in that case, no. They were like, why? And they got another whole guy out there. I'm like, son, why don't you want us to search your truck? Because every person I've listened to that's given legal advice has said, don't let someone search your vehicle, because it's, anything can become incriminating evidence if you look at it hard enough. That's just how the world works. That's just how it works. No offense to y'all, but I'm not just gonna, you asked me the question, I have the legal right to deny. No consent to search. And I'm like, okay, let's get the drug dog out here then. Like, of course, you're gonna get the drug dog out here. So they go around the vehicle, they make me watch. It's like 35 mile an hour winds, and for some reason down there, it's like 28 degrees. And no, I'm sorry, it was 38 degrees, but it was like 30 mile an hour winds. So it was chiller. Chiller? It was a thriller how chiller it was. So the officer that initiated the stop let me sit in her car, but eventually they wanted me to watch the dog search. But I mean, even though I had a jacket on there, it was like so cold. I was like, just let me get back in the car. Like, we need you to watch, sir. It's like, watch what? Like, I'm not trained to watch this dog sniff my vehicle and tell what is alerting or not. And then lo and behold, they get between the truck and the trailer part of the vehicle, and they're like, oh, look, the dog alert. I'm like, if you say so. I mean, regardless of what actually happens, y'all don't even have body cams on that I can see. Like, my word is not going to hold up against yours. Like, I don't care. If you get probable cause, search the vehicle. I don't care. And then and I'm thinking that. I don't say that. They're like, all right, you see the dog alert? And I'm like, I honestly was not paying attention because I'm cold. And I'm not like being rude about it. I'm just being real. It's like, I'm honestly, I wasn't paying attention. It's just cold. So, they're like, all right, if there's something in the vehicle, you need to tell us about it now. Like, there's nothing in the vehicle, man. I've had this truck for like a few months. I mean, I've gone through it. If there's anything in that truck, it's nothing that I put in there, and it's nothing that's still there, because if it was there, I would have gotten rid of it, which is probably more than what I should have said, honestly. I should have just said, no, there's nothing in the truck, because anything I say can be used against me, even if it's just trying to make myself look better. I mean, I'm just being real. It's like, I know there's nothing in the truck, and I can't be held accountable for the stuff in the trailer in the long run. So it's like, I mean, it's a legal battle, but I have legal protection through my company, so I'm not incredibly worried about it. But anyways, they're like, all right, you mind if we search your vehicle? I'm like, I mean, you have probable cause. Why are you asking me? It's like, oh, it's the polite thing to do. It's like, why are you asking me if it's the polite thing to do? You just want me to comply. Like, I don't care. If you have probable cause, do your legal right. I don't care. And they're like, okay. So they go through my vehicle about as weekly as possible. Like, I don't think I've seen someone go through a vehicle. Either they put everything back, so guy's disconnected from his trailer in the Love's parking lot. But anyways, disconnects from the trailer. I'm sorry. Goes inside the truck, goes through stuff about as neatly as possible, or like barely goes through anything. Like, I don't think they even tried. I don't think they cared. But anyways, they come out and they're like, all right, it's a non-conclusive search, so we don't have what we need here for you to get this search done. So we're gonna have you drive down to the inspection station 50 miles down the road, which is where I was going anyway. I mean, coming out of Texas, you kind of gotta go through there. But they were like, yeah, you gotta go through that. I'm like, okay. So I have a police escort behind me. I'm sure the drivers that were passing are like, what's with that dude? Like, there's just a police officer that has their lights on, but they're not strobing, and they're so far up behind the back of that truck that they can't even tell that the officer's there. Like, they're probably on the CB like, dude, you know you got a cop right behind you or something like that. But I can't even tell what people are saying on the CB. It's just too chaotic. But I don't use it all that much, unfortunately. But anyways, I've never seen a Love's truck that was a drive-in. That's funny. Huh. With a sleeper and everything. That's crazy. And a liftgate. 53-foot trailer, Love's truck, Freightliner Cascadia, full sleeper, 53-foot trailer with a liftgate. I've never seen that before. That's funny. But anyways. Yeah, so they have me drive to the inspection station. They give me the whole shebang again, whatever you want to call it. I mean, I've talked to like 7 officers at this point, border patrol agents, like deputies. I think a sheriff at some point. It's just like I understand you probably think of smuggling bodies or drugs or something. So, and I don't say that out loud, of course, but like I understand. Like, my day isn't ruined because of this. So they had me drive through an x-ray machine, and they're like, all right, we've concluded there's nothing in your truck, but we still want to open your trailer. So at the time, I was hauling like 55-gallon barrel drums of pineapple juice. Of all the things that I could haul out of refrigerated goods, I didn't think pineapple juice would be one of them, but lo and behold. So they break the seal and go in they just open the doors and look inside. They're like, okay, it's good to go. It's like, really? You're telling me? I mean, I'm especially surprised after that was a good bit after still the inauguration of the new president. I'm surprised that with the amount of increasing regulations and border control and all that, they didn't like go through it and like get like the dog in there, like in the trailer. It's like, I mean, for all, like, I know that x-ray machine is nice and all that, but like, if they uniformly put drugs inside those barrels in a way that was uniform, that was vertically and horizontally, like, I don't know. I figured that they probably could have missed it if they weren't, like, I think they were just looking at me like, what is wrong with this kid? Like, this kid, like, literally just does not care. Like, he is so unbelievably confident and just does not care. He's been driving for like 4 months, and like, he's just not scared. I'm like, okay, yeah, do what you need to. And then before they open the trailer, like, the officer that initiated the stop was like, do you mind if we search the trailer? It's like, I don't know why you're asking me. I mean, you have probable cause, right? They're like, oh, it's the polite thing to do. Like, sure, go ahead. We can spend all day being polite to each other. Like, I mean, I'm not like trying to be rude. I mean, it's like, I really don't care how polite you are. I mean, you got to do your job. And they're like, we appreciate just how cooperative you were with us today. It's like, oh, I totally get it. I mean, y'all just got to do your jobs. I mean, it's suspect that I'm missing a license plate. I mean, it really is, honestly. I mean, the people who are most suspicious run completely legally for the most part anyways. So, I mean, anyways, I I thanked them for getting me out of there after like 3 hours and taking 3 hours off my on-duty clock for the week. So, and then I got on my way. But anyways, besides that, I'm just trying to make sure I don't run out of time. I got an appointment at 8 p.m. and it's 5 p.m. now, and I'm just across the border from Wisconsin, and I'm about 50 minutes away. I'm gonna leave with an hour early window. Yeah, I got 45 minutes, but I don't know. I never feel like I'm leaving on time when I'm leaving on time. Like, even when I'm leaving an hour early, it feels like, all right, I'm just gonna naturally be late, especially since I've had so much time to kill and I just wanted to sit around for once because I've been running so hard. Oh yeah, speaking of running hard, the last time I was running a recap, which is, to explain a recap simply, I work Monday through Friday, or Monday through Saturday. I have 70 hours to work in a week, or just in a continuous like cycle of days. So it doesn't matter how long it takes me to get to those 70 hours. I have 70 hours I can work before, like I can work 70 hours of shifts that last up to 14 hours of on duty and 11 hours of driving before, and that can add up to 70 hours total on duty before I'm required to take a 34-hour break. But a recap is if I work Monday through Saturday, I don't have any time on, and I get through all my 70 hours, I don't have any time on Sunday, but Monday I can get back the time that I worked the previous Monday. It's kind of a weird thing, and it goes through the week. And ideally, the way that it's designed to work is that, every week you're not going to theoretically get every hour in, so you're just going to have to eventually run out of hours. But recaps, I've never really run them before getting to this company, but my first recap with this company, I just, I was just like, I want to get as far as I can today, get it done with. So I drove 8 consecutive hours, which is legal. I drove 7 hours and like 50 something minutes before getting to my final destination, and I was like, all right. So I pull into this Love's, and it's just a weird parking lot arrangement. So you pull in the parking lot, so going down the center of the parking lot, there's lanes on both sides. So if you're coming down the lane, like I'm doing it for y'all's perspective. So coming down the lane, there's trucks on this side and trucks on this side. So the side coming in was this side. There were 4 parking spots right next to each other. So what that means is that I'd have to put the trailer in from my passenger side, which is called a blind side. And I probably could have turned around. I probably should have turned around and backed in the normal way, especially being as fatigued as I was for the week and for the day. But nope, I decided to back in the truck blindside, which I've done before. I mean, I normally stop every 2 feet and get out, at most 2 feet. Well, I was just like, I'm tired for one, but like 2, there are 4 parking spots directly next to each other. If I mess this up, I'm like the greatest failure of all time. Well, guess exactly what I decided to do that night. That was not good. Conveniently, that was another load coming out of McAllen. Just coincidence, but I stopped going to South Texas. It's not good for me, apparently. But yeah, I did some damage to a truck with the DOT bumper, which is, that bumper that kind of, you have the 2 beams and then it goes across the bottom. I'm speaking and explaining things from a perspective of assuming y'all don't know truck stuff. If what I'm saying is common knowledge, it wasn't common knowledge to me before I started driving and going to school, and if I'm babying it too much, just let me know. But yeah, that DOT bumper went straight into the front side hood of a Freightliner Cascadia, and it was not pretty. And the driver was away. It just should not have happened. And what's crazy is that, like, that's not a mistake that, like, I would make normally, ever. Like, I normally wouldn't even ever do that to begin with. Like, the only time I normally blindside is into docks, not truck stops, and my boss was very, very displeased, but amazingly did not fire me. And we decided, well, neither of us decided. My boss told me, yeah, you're too young, you've made a mistake. If this has to go through insurance, you're fired. You're not going to be insurable for the next 5 years, and I'm going to lose my insurance company. So try to find the guy and see if you can work it out. So by the grace of our ever-loving God, Jesus Christ, I got in contact with the guy who did not speak any English whatsoever, which is what it is. His license was also digital, which I found fascinating, but he was very understanding. I really appreciate that guy. I mean, I'd be understanding too. It sucks, but like it's realistically the world. We make mistakes, and I was a little shaken up after making a mistake that consequential for no reason whatsoever other than that I guess I could. I told my boss, it's like, I'm surprised you haven't fired me yet. It's like I seem to invent a new way to mess something up every day. But he's just like, I don't know, you seem to have trucking in you, so it's also expensive for me to hire another employee, you know, all that stuff. But anyways, got in contact with the boss of that company, tried to negotiate with him. It's like we started on initial price. He was like, well, what can you put down cash right now? And I was like having an aneurysm trying to figure out how am I going to get $2,500 in cash. Like I was able to get the connections and get the money on hand, which is not easy, but I could have had $2,500, which is what they originally wanted, until they saw the damage closer and they were like, oh yeah, it's a lot more than that amount of damage. In fact, it was a lot. And they were asking $12,000, and my boss very graciously negotiated them down to $10,000, and that's where I'm at right now. So if y'all are asking why don't, like, this is something my mom didn't get. Like, why wouldn't you just let it go through insurance? That's what insurance is for. Like, pay $2,500 and be done with it. Like, you don't understand. Like, I'm not going to be hireable for the next 5 years. If I'll make that money back one way or another in the next 5 years to start making more money on top of it. It sucks. It's absolutely unfortunate. It's an expensive mistake to make, but it's a mistake that I made, and I'll never make the same mistake again. And yeah, complacency kills. I knew that. Like, I listen to everyone tell me that. I tell other people that. It's like the one thing that I know about trucking is that complacency kills, and I know that I should be really careful and not ever get complacent, because that's when you kill someone. Oh no, I'm gonna get deleted off YouTube. I used the KI double hockey sticks word. Oh no. But anyways, I flipped the knife in a second, but it's just, it is what it is. And I mean, I can get upset about it all I want, but I could also just, that is hilarious. Oh, there's a guy driving a truck and he has a skeleton, like a full skeleton in his passenger seat, and he has a safety vest on. That is so funny. That is peak comedy. But yeah, I could have just dipped and not paid that, but I'm not a scumbag of a human being that's gonna make my boss pay $10,000 just to fire me and then have to get different insurance because he talks highly about how much this insurance is so great. Trucking insurance is so great. It's always great. It's hard to get a company that'll even cover stuff when it happens. Insurance in general seems to be a very interesting topic of the world right now, which I'm not going to get into because this is not a political channel. But yeah, trucking insurance is kind of lame. It really is. And the other driver that's open market that does the exact same thing that I do is like 33, I think. And his insurance is like $1,000 a month. And he had a wreck. Like a bad wreck not that long ago. That he just went to court over, I think. Yeah. My insurance, with no wrecks or no incidents on my record. That was the first accident in general, by the way, that was my fault. Like, that's the first accident, like, where I made any vehicle come in contact with any other vehicle, and it was my fault. Like, I don't want to say I was confident in myself to the point where I knew that it wasn't going to happen, but, like, I didn't think it was going to happen like that. I figured it was going to be something else. Like, and if I was just not complacent that one time, I'd still be clean. I'd still be good. But it really made me respect having the tandems all the way forward. So on a trailer, you got, this is your trailer, your wheels can slide all the way from, so trailer goes here to here. So your wheels on the trailer can slide like basically like a third up the trailer, which means you have, like, if your back of the trailer's, like if your wheels are all the way back in the back of the trailer, there's not a lot of swing behind it. But if your wheels are right here, whenever you turn, you have a tail end that swings. And that's what got me in that situation, and I would have been fine otherwise. But having the tandems all the way up really got me. And probably asking if you know anything, why you got the tandems all the way up? Wait, I love loads that are distributed perfectly. That's all I'm saying. But that's all that's for, by the way. It's getting the weight distribution, because you can't have too much weight on the front or the back of the trailer. And of course, they can't just get that right the first time. But anyways, besides the point. But yeah, trucking. It's been interesting. It's been fun. I've gotten to go to a lot of states. Haven't been to Minnesota, North, South Dakota. I was gonna go to Florida before I blew my drive shaft, but pretty much everywhere else besides Washington and California and New York and up are all states I think I've been to. I feel like I'm missing one. I know I think I've been through Iowa, but yeah, Wyoming's fun. But yeah, something I've been listening to lately a lot is, there's this YouTuber, I'm not gonna name him because I don't want to get judged, but he covers like people on the internet and like their downfalls and all that. And he's like, oh yeah, this YouTuber like went made a GoFundMe and then like stole the money from their viewers. I was like, wow, imagine being so sad you'd go make a GoFundMe to scam your viewers. And I was thinking, huh, I have a YouTube channel. I could make a GoFundMe. I'd never do that. You gotta joke around sometimes. But yeah, just hauling reefer. I say it like I've been doing it, but I'm just a complete rookie. I'm just winging it half the time. And getting my routes planned good, following the fuel map, you know, pretty basic stuff. Grinding a gear every now and then, you know, just typical rookie stuff. I did tell my boss though that I did intend on possibly leaving once around maybe a little before, but at some point around the time I get this debt paid off with him, that I'm gonna go do towing and recovery, because honestly, over the road, I did it to get experience to do that, and now that I have it, I could go do that and go do towing and recovery. And it's genuinely like a mental health thing. Like, I don't talk about mental health a lot because no mentally insane person talks about mental health, because obvious reasons. But not that I'm mentally insane, of course, I'm joking. But yeah, over the road is hard. I mean, you live by yourself. I mean, some people are great at it and more power to them. Some people just live fine going over the road. That's why dedicated routes are better. You get to run by a home base, you know, see people, talk to people, go to the same places, know the people. When you're over the road, you got nothing. You got the people on your phone, and that's a blessing these days that we even have that. I was fighting my AirPods just to get them connected. I was having a panic attack almost. Just like, why? If you ever have AirPod Pro Gen 2s and you ever press forget device and they won't pair, clean off the contacts, push them back in, like push a little force down and plug it in, let it charge like that for a while before it actually recycles its brain and realizes what it is, and it'll work again. I thought about making a video about that, but I didn't want my first video to come back to be how to fix your AirPods, because that'd be really funny. And that would also be out of character. Like, Chris, you've been gone for so long. How to fix your AirPods? Oh, that'd just be so weird. And not the way I do things. So I'm surprised I haven't run out of video on storage on this video yet. Normally that happens by now, and normally that ruins my day. It's like, yes, I got 29 minutes into a YouTube video, I'm about to end it video out of storage. I'm like, no. But anyways, yeah. I want to get back to Baton Rouge. I want to do towing and recovery. I feel called to go do work there. And honestly, I want to get my hands dirty and work. I mean, I've lost weight being a truck driver. I know that I don't look like this incredibly like stout or skinny individual. I mean, when I cross my arms, it kind of makes me look like I got some gains, if I'm not gonna lie. But I'm losing muscle mass or fat of some sort, and I didn't have much of either of those, so that's probably not good for me. And eating healthy on the road is like almost physically impossible unless you frequent a Walmart every week, and I don't like drive a truck into a place that they don't want me to be there to begin with. I'm not trying to volunteer to go get kicked out by Walmart security, get my vehicle towed, and have another multi-$1,000 bill to deal with. So, and I could personal conveyance there, disconnect from the trailer, and my trailer probably gets towed by the 2 hours I take to go to a Walmart and back. It's got to be on free time that I already have. It's just a nightmare. It really is. But anyways, I do look forward to getting back to Baton Rouge and helping people, because at the end of the day, having personal connections to people, helping them, and I don't talk about religion or politics that much. I just represent what I think is the right thing, but I am a practicing Christian Catholic, and I do like my church communities. I like playing organ for church. I like going to Bible studies. I like having time to come home and just sit in a chair at my organ bench with a tuba in my lap. I mean, I have a tuba with me, but I don't get to play it all that often. I'm just constantly going, working 14 hours a day, a lot of times working less others. It's just very well depends. I mean, I didn't technically work this long, but I was up for 25 hours the other day dealing with things, getting lost in Pennsylvania back roads, getting trailer parts fixed, delivering long wait times. It's a show of stuff. It's a lot of baloney sometimes, but getting a little dark. But yep, I mean, I wouldn't have it any other way. I love my boss. Like, he's awesome. Like, really, genuinely. It's not the guy thing to go tell your boss, like, dude, you are genuinely awesome. But, like, honestly, he's a great boss. He's taught me a lot. He's respected me enough to tell me and get on to me. Like a lot of people growing up are just like, oh, that's good. It's like participation, blah, blah, blah. You're great. It's like, no, can you just yell at me and like try to make me cry so that I don't make the same mistake again? Like, genuinely. Because that's how I learn. I went to school getting yelled at. That's how I learned. It's like, is it emotionally damaging? Just a little bit. Not anymore, but it used to be. But yeah, if like I'm not some sensitive little baby that's not going to be able to handle being yelled at, and my boss is respectful enough to hold me to a standard where he tells me, dude, what the hell? And but he's kept me around, and I wish I could stay around longer. I really do, but it's a shame, because I really like the company I work for. The condition, everything is exactly what I'd want as an over-the-road driver, and it is everything I want. Like, I couldn't ask for better over the road. Like, he talks about, oh, I'll put you in a W900, which is one of those hooded trucks, you know, big flat, big metal hood, air breathers on the side, big stacks coming out the top, probably a Caterpillar or a Cummins with a 18-speed, you know, something awesome. Like, and that does sound awesome, but this isn't the life I'm being called to live. And this is where you start, at the bottom. Over the road is where everyone starts, for the most part. Unless you already have a contract with another person, or you're doing hot shot, which is usually over the road. I had to start over the road, get my experience, and yeah, it's just, over the road is not for everyone. It's not for me. I can do it good. I can get the job done, but as I've repeated myself like 10 times now for no reason whatsoever other than that I felt like it, it's just not for me. So, anyways, just wanted to let y'all know I'm still alive, and I haven't forgotten. I always want to make YouTube videos, but usually I'm too busy driving, and I've tried recording videos while driving. It just doesn't go over well. But I'd love to make more YouTube videos. If I'm getting back home every day and I'm able to walk around in my backyard and have that loud goose squawk at me all the time, I think I'll be more inclined to do it. Yeah. Not much else to say. I appreciate y'all watching me. I gotta get going in about 30 minutes. Probably need to fuel up my trailer. Yeah. It's been a long while. I think the last video I made was in May. Yeah, I think it was. I think I was doing daily drops on my last video. I thought about doing daily drops again, but I just can't do it inside of a truck, and I can't do it walking around a parking lot full of trucks and people who have no idea what I have in my hand, because some of these truck stops are a little too dangerous to be doing that. I mean, you might get shot, I'm not gonna lie. But anyways, thank you all for watching. Thank you for all being around for so long. We're getting close to 1,000 subscribers. I'm not gonna ask for subscribers, but I'd love to be back to the size I used to be. But losing my original channel made me realize who was really sticking around. You know, all the real people. And I appreciate that. Thank you for watching, all of you. It's been a while, and I'd like to keep making videos again, update my progress, talk about things. But anyways, I'll talk to y'all later. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.